Everyone's talking about Roth conversions. You've probably heard it a million times by now. Do a Roth conversion now to save on taxes later. And look, I get it. The promise of tax-free growth sounds amazing. But here's what most people aren't telling you. If you're a high income earner and still working in your peak earning years, doing a Roth conversion right now could be one of the most expensive financial mistakes you make. I'm Greg McCall, a certified financial planner, and over the last 6 years, I've helped pre-retirees with millions of dollars saved reduce their lifetime taxes by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's what I've learned. Timing matters more than the strategy itself. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why deferring your Roth conversions can save you significantly more money than converting while you're still earning high income. So let's dig in. Let's start with what you've probably been told by financial advisors, YouTube videos, influencers, articles. They all say the same thing. Roth conversions are a no-brainer. Convert now, pay taxes at today's rates, and enjoy tax-free growth forever. And you know what? They're not wrong. Roth conversions can be extremely powerful. According to research from multiple financial planning firms, strategic Roth conversions can reduce lifetime tax bills for retirees by hundreds of thousands of dollars. But here's the part they often leave out. The timing of when you convert matters just as much as whether you convert at all. Most of the Roth conversion advice you hear is geared toward retirees or people already in lower tax brackets. But if you're still working and pulling in a W-2 income and sitting in the 24%, 32%, 35% federal tax bracket, the math changes completely. You're being told to pay taxes at your highest rate now when there's a much better window coming up. Think of it this way. Would you rather pay 35 cents on every dollar you convert today or wait a few years and pay 15 to 22 cents? When put like that, the decision should seem obvious. So let's talk numbers. When you're working and earning a high income, your tax situation looks very different than it will in retirement. Let's say you're a married couple earning $250,000 a year. Based on our 2026 federal tax brackets, your marginal tax rate is 24%. But here's the thing. That's just federal. You've also got state income taxes in most states, which can add another 5 to 10% or more depending on where you live. Now let's imagine you decide to convert $100,000 from your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA while you're still working. That $100,000 gets added to your income, pushing you even higher into the 24% bracket or possibly into the 32% bracket. You're paying at a minimum 24% federal plus state taxes. That's $24,000 to $32,000 just in federal taxes alone on the conversion. Now compare that to retirement. Let's say you retire at 62 and decide to wait until your income drops before doing conversions. You're no longer earning that $250,000 salary today, and maybe you're living off savings or a taxable brokerage account for a few years before you claim Social Security. Your taxable income might only be $50,000 or $75,000. So now that same $100,000 conversion might only push you into the 12 or 22% bracket. So you've now just saved $12,000 to $20,000 in taxes on the exact same conversion. This is what we call tax arbitrage, paying taxes at a lower rate now versus a higher rate later. And for high income earners, it's one of the most powerful strategies available. But it gets even better because when you're working, you're not just paying income taxes, but you're also paying what are called FICA taxes, taxes that completely disappear in retirement. FICA stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and it's made up of two different parts. First, there's Social Security tax at 6.2% on wages up to about $184,000 for this year. Second, there's a Medicare tax. That rate is 1.45% on all wages without a cap. Add those together, and now you're paying another 7.65% on top of your income tax just for working. If you're a high earner making over $200,000 as a single filer or over $250,000 as a married couple, you also pay an additional Medicare tax of 0.9% on everything above those thresholds. On top of that, there's another net investment income tax or NIIT. This is a 3.8% surtax on investment income for high earners with modified adjusted gross income over 200,000 for single filers or over 250,000 for married filing jointly. If your Roth conversion pushes you over those thresholds while you're still working, you could trigger this tax on your investment income as well. Let me give you a real example. I recently worked with a couple earning $300,000 a year. They wanted to convert $150,000 to a Roth IRA immediately. Between federal and state taxes alone, they were going to pay close to 40% of that amount in taxes. Instead, we created a plan for them to retire at 62, live off their brokerage account for 3 years, and start doing strategic Roth conversions at the 12 and 22% tax brackets. By waiting, they'll pay closer to 25% all in, saving them over $30,000 in taxes on that same conversion amount. So when should you do Roth conversion? The answer is simple. Do conversions when you're going to pay less taxes. Pay the tax when taxable income is going to be at its lowest. This window typically opens when you retire and typically closes when RMDs start. That is normally the sweet spot for most people. You've stopped working, your income is lower. A lot of times you haven't started Social Security quite yet, so you're not triggering taxes on those benefits, and you haven't hit RMD age, so the IRS is not forcing you to take large distributions. This period, sometimes called the gap years, is when your taxable income is at its lowest. It's the perfect time to fill up those lower tax brackets with strategic Roth conversions. You can convert right up to the top of the 12% bracket or the 22% bracket, depending on your situation, and pay far less in taxes than you would have while working. Research from financial planning firms show this strategy of waiting for the gap years can preserve more wealth over time compared to converting while still working, especially if you're in a high tax bracket. And here's the beauty of it all. You are in complete control. You decide how much to convert each year based on where you are in tax brackets. You're not forced to convert a huge amount all at once and spike your taxes. Let's talk about what you should be doing instead of Roth conversions during your peak earning years. And the answer? Maximize your pre-tax contributions. When you contribute to a traditional pre-tax 401k account, you get an immediate tax deduction at your current high marginal rate. So if you're in the 32% bracket, every $1,000 you contribute today saves you $320 in taxes. You can then take that money and invest it, save it, or even use it to pay down debt. Then when you retire and your income drops, you can strategically convert portions of that traditional IRA to Roth at a much lower tax rate. This is the exact strategy I use with many of my high net worth clients. We max out pre-tax contributions during peak earning years. We let that money grow tax deferred, and then we'll find a window where we can convert it strategically in retirement. Here's one way to think about your tax planning. Imagine a roadmap with 3 different phases. Phase 1 is your high earning years. This is now. Your goal here is to defer as much tax as possible, max out your 401k, contribute to an HSA if you have one, and avoid Roth conversions. You are in the highest tax bracket, so every dollar you defer saves you the most money. Phase 2 is early retirement. This is typically your conversion window. You've stopped working, your income has dropped, you have complete control over your taxable income. This is typically when you start filling up those lower tax brackets with strategic Roth conversions. You're paying taxes at 12, 15, or 22% instead of 32 or 35%. Phase 3 is the RMD phase. Once you hit 73, IRS forces you to start taking distributions from your traditional IRA. If you've done conversions during phase 2, you've shrunk that IRA balance, which means smaller RMDs and lower taxes in this phase. Plus, you'll have a Roth IRA with no RMDs at all, giving you much more flexibility. This 3-phase approach is how smart retirees minimize lifetime taxes. It's intentional, it's strategic, and it works. So here's the bottom line. If you are a high income earner still working today, don't rush into Roth conversions just because everyone says you should. The timing matters. Wait until you're in a lower tax bracket, ideally in early retirement before RMDs begin, and you'll save tens of thousands of dollars on those same conversions. This is not a one-size-fits-all. That doesn't mean everyone should follow this exact path. There are some people where Roth conversions make a ton of sense. There are also situations where Roth conversions make no sense at all. As a retirement income certified professional. I help families just like yours create these strategic tax roadmaps every single day. At Eagle Financial Planning, we specialize in helping pre-retirees reduce their lifetime taxes and create a retirement income plan that they feel confident about. If you want help with this, I'd love to talk. Feel free to book a free retirement strategy session with me. We'll look at your overall situation, run the numbers, and show you exactly how much you could save by waiting to do your Roth conversions. For more smart planning for a successful retirement, make sure you subscribe to this channel.